Hello, everyone. I am Mafe Cavinato from Brazil, and I'm part of the Prenatal Alliance team, and I'm here with Hélyette Neel.
Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about how to manage stress in order to raise consciousness and create harmony for the new being. That's a huge
And
question.
then to start, Hélyette, oui, it's a huge question. And to start, I would like to know from your perspective, what is stress?
Well, we can see stress in different levels, I would say. Like it's stress comes from fear of something. Can it be a little things in daily life or bigger things like a big danger or even death, which I would say can be behind every other fear. And this danger will bring some hormones to wake up in the body for us to react in different situations. And what is it for you, Mafe, the stress? How do you see it from your perspective?
Wow. Um, Regarding what you were saying, we can see stress as a branch of the tree of fear,
Mm.
and this tree needs to fear is something that is here for human beings and animals to help us to survive. This is the main thing for fear. And the question behind fear is what is it in the what there is here in this scene that I don't know.
Mm.
This is the invitation of fear. So in a way, when we feel stressed, it means that there is something that is triggering your it's threaten your life, either in little aspects or in big aspects. So as you were saying, biologically speaking, our body reacts to that, and we can say it in a psychological way, or we can say it in a chemical way, regarding the biology of our our organism, right?
Yeah, and I would just ask something here because we are in the Prenatal Alliance Summit. Where, how can, um, how comes that certain people are very, very stressed and also not? Would you say it
Mm,
comes from the way we were gestated? What can you say about that?
I think this is the imprints that we received when we were in our mummy's belly, or the imprints, the download that the babies are receiving from their mothers, or the offer, the download that we receive from our mothers is the basis of how we are gonna react in life. Meaning, my everything that my mom is living, I will learn from her process. Because if I want to survive in the same environment, I have to have tools that allow me to survive in that environment.
Mm.
So, how the mother is living, how the mother is processing her inner life is what the child will receive.
Mm.
And then it will be there for a lifetime, unless
Yeah.
we, at some point, we conscious about the that we received, and then we can change it. But only after we are conscious about it, not before. When the main question, how to manage stress in order to raise consciousness, I would say it's it's the opposite process. It's like a raising consciousness will allow you to manage your stress. And this is the tricky thing, because if we use the intellect to manage stress, it's not going to be very effective because we have blurred thoughts in this moment. When we are stressed, we don't think properly. Then what can we use? Do you have a guess?
Well, I would say that the opposite of fear is love.
Hmm.
And love is a nice path to take. But how do we know that we're stressed? Because I would say that in the daily life now, so many people are in such a rush that they are not even aware that they are stressed.
But wait a second, before answering this important question that you just made, uh, that you asked, uh, I think it's important to really highlight what you answered about love. That love will be the main tool to manage this stress.
Mm.
And um, sometimes we are not able to manage the fear, the stress by ourselves. Then we can remember that we have the divine love here with us all the time, waiting for us to call it, or
Yeah.
the angels, or the invisible world, the light, and then we can make a good use of it. Everyone can do it. Doesn't matter where we are, the circumstances, it's always there.
Mhm.
Just wanted to add this because I think this is very, very important, and this is the key of the problem of stress. Let's say you are stressed and you feel angry about something. Well, are you going to put your stress in someone or in something? Well, this is not a good way to deal.
No, it
Then
doesn't really help in relationships, right?
no, on the contrary, because it's going to be it's going to be bigger and bigger because you're just spreading it,
Mm.
not taming it. And then one beautiful way to tame it is that when you recognize that you are in this mood, we can consciously uh, have um, try to do things with love. Let's say I want to fill my cup of coffee.
Mm.
Well, then I'm gonna do it in the most tender and soft way that I can, even with all this anger in me. But it's after a while that we are
Yeah.
practicing.
Yeah. You're not finding the right path at the first time you try to fill your cup, right?
Exactly.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. And then you were asking, well, but how can we recognize stress? And then
Yeah.
I answer you with another, I answer you with another question. Is it the same for men and women?
Well, no, it's a bit different. And I think it goes well with what you answered before, because there are different, I would say, level of consciousness, of awareness of where we are. And I would say that the first step is to understand what's happening in our body. So, to answer your question, I will just use a little game, a little image. I'm taking this seesaw that you know from
Mhm.
playground, just to tell you that stress hormones are different in men's body and women's body. And this is true after, I would say, um, a little bit before the teenage time, when the hormones really grow in the bodies, being different from men and women. And so here is the biggest stress hormone, which is cortisol. which is there when we are in danger of something. And women, to diminish her stress, needs to have a lot of oxytocin and other hormones also, but this one is the main one. And the man needs to have testosterone to lower his stress. So for
Okay,
women,
so man is cortisol, the hormone of stress, and the hormone that is the opposite of it is testosterone, and for women is oxytocin
yeah.
instead of testosterone. Okay.
So if we take the example of a woman, she is having a lot of stress today. So her stress level is there, meaning her oxytocin level here is very, very down. And for a man, it's the opposite. So if a man has a very high stress, he would need to grow his
Mhm,
testosterone level in order to find again the good
mhm,
balance for the stress to regulate and go down. So here we can
mhm,
see that the response we will bring to our own stress, I would say in the first level of consciousness, is find the well-being inside. We have many ways for that.
mhm,
And
mhm,
we can observe. I would just give some 2, 3 examples of how we can recognize stress in a woman and in a man, because it doesn't pop up, I would say, the same way in the two bodies. So here we are only talking about the natural hormones in the body and not adding hormones from outside, right? So
yeah.
the woman would um, can see that she's stressed when she's not able to focus anymore, when her appetite is changed, when she has to provide, then she's a lot in her masculine way, and then she cannot be in her feminine and then bring oxytocin. Um, when she feels ignored, abandoned, unsafe, when she feels that she's not very important, and when she feels that she's overwhelmed, then the stress level goes up because she's afraid of being by herself, just alone. Um, and this is something that goes very well with what you said before, that if you um, nourish this connection with God, with the divine inside of you, then you're never alone. And
Yeah.
then this is, I would say, different steps to go to this deep inner connection. And
Mhm,
a man would feel stress when he has too much pressure, when it's too hard and he can't like reach the goal. When
mhm,
he has very low motivation, this is a huge sign of stress. When he feels humiliated or diminished in a situation, when he's criticized, then a man is dropping his level of testosterone, and then the cortisol goes up. And
mhm,
there is also for both men and women something which is important is that it's going to be difficult for them to change. They will be resistant to change. Like
mhm,
if the situation is there, then they know what is there. It's fine because they know it. But if
mhm,
something else is over there and they don't know, then it's too hard because there is not enough love and too much fear inside. And then it's hard to
mhm.
go for the changement.
And but all this, uh, in order for us to, for them to have the, how can I say, the motivation to change this state,
Mhm.
uh, we need to bring the concept of what it is to be an adult and the responsibility that it um, is intrinsic to be an adult, right? What differentiates a kid from an adult? For me, is this sense of responsibility and being able to parent themselves.
Yeah. But how can we start this? For me, this starts
Mm,
just with being an observer. of who we are, because we don't really know. Like, we're brought in a world, we take things from what's around us, from our parents, from society, and then we are discovering who we are. But then
Mm,
comes a time when we are just asking ourselves, I am fine. Am I fine with that in my life? Do I
yeah,
like this behavior of mine? Where does it comes from?
yeah.
And then starting to observe us and ourselves, we can, with a lot of love and warmth and softness, be just this observer. None,
Be gen-
yeah, be gentle,
yeah,
definitely. And in this
yeah.
gentleness, we can grow because we can go deeper in this observation of who we are.
And here I would add also, in order to do this inner journey, that will allow us to know better ourselves and how we can how we can make good for the entire world. Um, we have to have a high ideal, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely the high ideal will help us to have a direction. And having this direction doesn't mean that we have to be there and be perfect with it, but just that we have a path to follow.
Yeah. And this is, for me, this is a growing consciousness also. It's like, okay, I wish harmony in my life, then I'm going to take this path.
Yeah.
And the path is the consciousness, but the harmony is this high ideal where I am going towards.
Yeah. And in this path, with this thing you said before, as much as we reparent ourselves, we are able to be our own parents, meaning our own mom and dad. We can be this grown-up adult, bringing the love and the safety we needed from our parents, and that we need every moment. And with these two very wise principles, we will be able to grow in stability, in consciousness, and in wisdom in life.
Mhm. Uh, um, you mean the two principles, when you say principles? You mean this like the kid comes from uh, um, um, a father and a mother, right? Or in our uh, in our modern days, if I can say that, we need the meeting of the oven that comes from a woman and the sperm that comes from a man, and then this meeting creates a child,
A new being.
right?
Yes.
A new being. And then this is beautiful because we can take this idea as a symbol of the meeting of the two principles that creates life on earth,
Yeah.
the meeting of masculine and feminine, or the meeting of a love and wisdom that brings truth, or heart and intellect that brings willpower, and so on.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And this is something we can use in every moment of our life, with every principle that creates something has these three, I would say, this triangle, with the stability, and then it always come with the two principles that will bring and give birth to the third one.
Yeah, this is beautiful. Another wonderful example of a little exercise that as a pregnant woman we can do, or not only pregnant women, but everyone, that we can do to find this inner flame, this inner light, is to think as if we were this oil lamp, the ones that you light And then after a while you have the black dust around, then I would say that our one of our work on ourselves would be to only clean this glass, only get rid of the black dust around and make the light shine, because
Yeah.
all of us, we, in order to be alive, we have this inner flame.
Yeah, which comes from the moment of conception, having this
Mhm.
connection with our body to be, and then this light goes out of the body. Like in French, we say la mort, which means death, and which is we can cut it in another way, which is l'âme hors, which means the soul out of the body. And this is something that for me it's like really brought the image of what it is, the soul coming in and the soul going out, and this is just a pass.
And then again, we can make the meeting between the subtle world and the material world, because in the moment of conception, we know, it's very well known nowadays by science, that we sparkle
Yes.
in the moment when the sperm meets the egg.
Yeah.
And this is because of a zinc reaction, and it's beautiful. And there is one study about it that shows those in vitro fertilization, those little embryos that didn't shine enough, that they weren't bright enough, they die in the middle of the process.
Yeah.
Those who shine in a certain level, in a certain amount, with a certain amount of light, they survive. Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, this is beautiful. Mm.
Yeah.
And I will talk more about that actually in the other conference I will do during
Ah,
the summit.
wonderful. So this is a little
Trailer.
spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. Okay, but then uh how can we bring harmony for the new being now?
Well, one thing is this daily purification that we can make on ourselves,
Mm.
uh being aware of our thoughts, our feelings, um learning that, knowing that we are the true we have the power of the true alchemy.
Yeah.
And women who are pregnant, if you have the possibility to realize that everything that happens you can transform in gold, in order to offer the best quality of materials that you can to the baby in your womb. This is our power, actually. And the future of humanity depends on how women are feeling and thinking, with what she is being inspired during this moment of welcoming a new being on earth.
Yeah.
And then you will say, okay, but then what is the father's role? Well, the father's role is to gestate this woman who is gestating the future of humanity.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. And I would add that this doesn't have to be uh, big things all the time. I mean, just when the day is not that bright, just take a moment to to look at a flower, to be uh, to be able to see the wonders in nature, to listen to good music, just something that brings warmth inside the heart. and just find some beautiful things to nourish your soul. And I would like to add something also. Uh, I think the connection with the soul is often forgotten during the pregnancy. When the mom is not feeling well, can just look up, look up and see, okay, I'm not alone here. The soul of my baby is there, working with me on the creation of this beautiful body, new vehicle for him or her for his or her entire life. And at this moment, the mom can say, okay, let's work together. Please shine a little bit more light on me because the soul is there for that. And I know from my work that so many times the soul are just so sad seeing their parents not feeling well. So just for each woman pregnant here to know that the soul is always there, ready to share its light for you.
Mm. And then when you cannot smile, maybe you can tell yourself, well, make a fake smile. And then you're gonna laugh
Yes.
real. And yeah. Um, uh, do you want to conclude with, do you want to give the final words?
Okay. Um, I would say that it's always possible to bring harmony for a being. It just gets easier the sooner you start, even before the conception. And just for everyone to remember that stress or fears are just a place where love is not there. And the fear is just, what if I'm dying? And then if you don't die, you're not going to be born again. So just abandon yourself to every dying moment because you know that what is going to be uh, born, blossom from it is going to be even more beautiful.
So you were saying that we might surrender to life with a capital L,
Yeah,
right? And
definitely.
surrender to the beauty, surrender to this miracle that we call life.
Yeah. And ask for help inside when we feel alone. Because when we ask, the answer will come every time.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Hélyette.
Thank you,
Uh,
Mother.
and say hi to France because I know that you're in France.
Okay, say hi to Brazil then.
And
Bye bye.
we are talking to the entire world. So hello, everyone, and bye bye. See you.
See you. Bye.